Preparation model paper 23. I'm N.H. Shankar Reddy, PhD plant pathology. Which organism are the indicator of sulfur dioxide pollution in the air? Lichens, mosses, mushrooms, puffballs. Generally, lichens are the indicators of pollution, not only sulfur dioxide pollution, but also other kinds of pollution as well. So if you see these lichens where near cities, we cannot observe these lichens because of high pollution. So near factories also we cannot able to observe this lichens because of high pollution. Where if the polluted areas are there, like high polluted areas are there, we can observe no lichens, since these lichens are highly sensitive to pollutants like sulfur dioxide and other pollutants as well. So these lichens also act as a indicator plants for any kinds of pollutants. The process of self-fertilization of fungi is known as automixis, somatogamy, spermatization, and parasexuality. So the process of self-fertilization is generally known as somatogamy. Plant volatile compounds that kill another microorganisms is known as phytocytes, phytoalexins, phytoanticipants, and effectors. Since they have mentioned volatile compounds, right? So which are the all the phytoalexins or anticipants or effectors? These are all not volatile compounds. When it comes to these phytocytes are actually volatile compounds which are ability to kill the microorganisms. HEPA stands for, so in laminar airflow chamber we have a filter called HEPA filter, which means high efficiency particulate air. High efficiency particulate air, like we can use to say like air blower, right? So that air is generating from this filter only. This is HEPA filter, high efficiency particulate air. So which consists of pore size of 0.3 micrometer. 0.3 micrometer, that is the pore size of HEPA filter, and where it will generate a very clean air, so that there will be no contamination, will provide the contamination free area. First identified sex hormone in fungi. So the first identified sex hormone in fungi is cyrenin. So anthradiol, cyrenin, vogoniol, triphosphoric acid. There are various kinds of sex hormones have been discovered in fungi, but it is reported that the first reported sex hormone is cyrenin. That is reported in anthradiol, I think. No. It is reported in acyl, I think so. I'm not sure, probably, but it was reported by cyrenin. That's for sure. Benzimidazole fungicide interferes with chitin biosynthesis, nuclear division, mitochondrial respiration, and mitosis cycle. All the benzimidazole group of fungicides that mainly interferes with nuclear divisions. Conidiophore of penicillin end in conidia bearing a bottle-shaped structure is called as medulla, sterigmata, paraphysis, ramenta. Generally, if you see penicillium, it is a brush-like structure. So at the brush-like structure, there is like, since they have mentioned a bottle-like structure where the small conidia or spores are formed above. So this bottle-like structure is known as sterigmata. If you see in the picture of penicillium, we might observe very clearly that is a sterigmata. A bottle-like structure that holds in the penicillium is known as sterigmata. Secondary mycelium of Basidiomycota is tetraploid, diploid, dikaryotic, and haploid. Generally, the secondary mycelium of Basidiomycota fungi is dikaryotic in nature. Most common occurring species of Loranthus in India. First of all, this Loranthus is generally, there are 4 phenerogam plant parasites are there: Cascota, Loranthus, Varabanki, and Striga. This Loranthus is the best example for partial stem parasite. In India, there are few species which are widely abundant. The most important species of Loranthus is Dendroptoi falcata. Dendroptoi falcata. The next one is the relationship between an insect and a virus was first time reported by Hashimoto, Holmes, Kunkel, and Gracia. It was first reported by Hashimoto. He's actually a Japanese farmer, I think. This Hashimoto was the first person who actually reported the relationship between an insect and a virus while working with rice tumor virus, I think. So he was the first person who observed with the leafhopper was involved, or leafhopper was playing a major role in transmission of this rice tumor virus, nephrotitis virescens. So then and some other scientists started working on it, and they established the relationship between the insect and virus, but it was first proved in rice by Hashimoto. The next one is who discovered the downy mildew for the first time in India? E.J. Butler, J.F. Dasser, Moncourt, and Care Critiker. So the downy mildew disease was first reported in India for the first time by E.J. Butler. This E.J. Butler is known as the father of plant pathology and mycology in India, right? Bacterialization of maize, with which bacteria reduces the number of striga plants and increases the maize growth. Pseudomonas fluorescens, Pseudomonas putida, and A and B, both Pseudomonas cerenger. So if the seeds are coated or bacterialized with the which of the following bactericide to reduce the striga plant population? So generally Pseudomonas fluorescens and Pseudomonas putida is recommended for to reduce the striga population. The common mode of reproduction of Rhizophus, Sporangiospores, Oidea, Plasmopores, and Zoospores. Generally, Rhizophus can produce sporangia, right? So the mode of reproduction is also sporangia, from where small spores are produced. We can call as sporangiospores. So the sporangiospores in oomycota we can call as zoospores, since it is having flagella, where in Rhizophus there is no such kind of flagella can be seen. So we can call the spores are sporangiospores, right? Aplanospores also we can call. So generally the mode of reproduction is sporangiospores. FISH stands for, so fluorescence in situ hybridization, fluorescence in vivo hybridization, fluorescence in situ hybridization, fluorescence in situ hybridology. So actually the FISH stands for fluorescence in situ hybridization. It is a technique where used for the detection of plant pathogens. Alternation of generations can be seen in Alternaria, Allomyces, Neosia, and Pyricularia. So this alternation kind of generations can be observed in a fungi called Allomyces. So the genus was actually created by E.J. Butler. E.J. Butler actually created this genus called Allomyces, and where we can see alternation kind of generations. Which biocontrol agent is commercially exploited as a biocontrol agent? Bacillus subtilis, Penicillium notatum, Sclerotium ralphsi, Trichoderma viride. Actually, this Penicillium notatum and Sclerotium ralphsi are Sclerotium ralphsi is a plant pathogen. Penicillium notatum, where we used to isolate an antibiotic called penicillin. Bacillus subtilis is a bacterial biocontrol agent, but it is not that much commercially exploited. But among the given options, Trichoderma viride is the most suitable option and most commercially exploited and producing the biocontrol agents. Root rot of sweet potato is caused by Mucormycete, Rhizopus oryzae, Rhizopus stolonifer, and Penicillium notatum. So root rot of sweet potato is generally caused by Rhizopus stolonifer. If you see this sweet potato, we can see some kind of black color moldy growth. So that is actually this root rot of sweet potato, which is responsible for Rhizopus stolonifer. Which of the following is not a disease of apple? Bird eye, powdery mildew, downy mildew, and bunch it up. Generally, this bunch it up is a disease which is related to banana, right? And bunch it up kind of symptoms can be observed in other kinds of viral disease, viral symptoms. But bunch it up symptom is actually associated with banana, not apple. So, which of the following is not related means this bunch it up. Which plant pathologist has received Borlaug Award from India? So which of the following options, given following options we'll see: Ratan Lal, V.L. Chopra, C.D. May, and S. Nagarajan. So generally this S. Nagarajan generally considered as father of plant disease epidemiology in India. In India he have done great contributions on wheat stem rust, like Puccinia pathway, Indian wheat stem rust also. Such kind of things have contributed. So in 2005 he received award, that is N.A. Borlaug Award. HRP genes was discovered by Albershim, Linden and Pete, Dewitt, Staskowitz. HRP gene or hypersensitive response genes was discovered by Lindgren and Pete. Perfect stage of rice blast: Pyricularia varese, Magnoporthe gricia, Helminthosporium varese, and Rhizoctonia solani. So perfect stage, which means a sexual stage of rice blast. First of all, we need to know what is the rice blast is caused by generally pyroclaria viruses, that is a anamorphic stage or imperfect stage. Since they have asked a perfect stage, it goes to Magnoporte Gracia. The number of ascospores produced by Saccharomyces cerevisiae 4, 8, 16, 12. Even though it comes under Scomycota group of fungi, generally majority of the Scomycota group of fungi produces 8 number of ascospore, but it is a little bit difficult when it came. It is a little bit different when it comes to the other fungi and some other cases. In the case of Saccharomyces cerevisiae, it will produce 4 number of ascospore, and when it comes to Trichoderma, it will produce 16 number of ascospore, like that. Pathogenicity of bacteria is actually controlled by which of the following secretion system: type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. Generally this type 3 secretion system plays a very important role in pathogenicity, and all kinds of pathogenicity stuff was controlled by this type 3 secretion system. The process of endosporulation will take, so how much time it will take in endosporulation, they're asking. 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. Generally the endosporulation process will take 8 hours. Agents which is effective against endospores. So which of the following agents are generally effective or used to suppress these endospores? Alcohols, ammonium, ethyl bromide and ethyl alcohol. Generally this ethyl bromide is very effective against this endospores. Endosporulation is initiated by, so what is the exact reason for endosporulation? Temperature, quorum sensing, chemicals, all the above. So generally to be talking in a normal way, at a high temperature, like heat resistant spores, these are during unfavorable time, or if the bacteria is almost at death point, it will produce a specialized spores called endospores. What might be the reason for the production of spores? If we dwell into the molecular level, the reason for the production of endosporulation is quorum sensing. So the bacteria through quorum sensing, it starts to produce these endospores, that is called endosporulation. Through endosporulation only the bacteria can survive during unfavorable time, or it can able to regenerate again with the help of these endospores. Through process of quorum sensing is the main stuff involved in this endosporulation. Each of the following is a crustoge lichen. In the first question we discussed, lichens are the best indicators of pollution and other stuff as well, and of course it having the medicinal properties and other useful properties as well. So since we have mentioned crustose lichen, Graphis, Parmelia, Cladonia and Usnea, and this Graphis is generally considered as crustose lichen. Most effective technique for the killing of endospore: pasteurization, ionization, tendalization, all the above. So pasteurization temperature is 62.8. For the especially killing of endospore, there is a specialized technique called tendalization. So this tendalization was actually developed by John Tyndall. In fact, 3 scientists developed: John Tyndall, Robert Koch, and one more Kohn. So these 3 were actually created for the development of this tendalization. But since it was first discovered by John Tyndall, the credit goes to him only. Not all the cases. Some cases, at the time there is no sophisticated technologies to exchange knowledge, right? They might have developed or started working individually. When it comes to in the case of bacteriophages, it was individually discovered by Twart and Harely, so that the credit goes to both of them. Like the some cases it happens like that also, but here the tendalization technique originally started by technique was originally given by John Tyndall in 1876, 1877 Robert Koch, 78 in Kohn. Probably they might have just changed this the technique in a variety of ways, might be, but the credit goes to John Tyndall, especially for the killing of endospore. So the temperature is 100 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes for 3 consecutive days. That's why it's called as discontinuous heat of sterilization. So in the first day at 100 degrees Celsius we are heating for 20 minutes. Next day again 100 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. And the next day again 100 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. This continued for 3 days to kill the endospores. This technique is known as tendalization, which was given by John Tyndall in 1876. A variety of strains produced by horticulture or agriculture techniques and not normally found in natural population is called as hybrid, cybrid, GMO, cultivars. Generally cultivars are produced in this variety. Tissue culture technique is employed for Two cross varieties, increase the size and strength, eliminate viruses, improve yield of crops. Tissue culture technique is the best technique that is recommended for the production of virus-free plants, which means elimination of plant viruses, right? Mycorrhiza is the association between formation of root nodules, hyphae penetrating the soil, found mostly in lower plants, soil erosion. So mycorrhiza is generally the association between root nodules, right? So the formation of root nodules. Myco means fungi, rhiza means roots. The feeding structure of the fungus. So which of the following is a feeding structure of the fungus? Hyphae, mycelium, sclerotium, and rhizomorph. So generally this mycelium is considered as the feeding structure where it absorbs the nutrients with the process of absorption, where fungi can observe absorption. Some other mechanisms also there, but majority of the mechanism absorption, right? So this mycelium is generally considered as a feeding structure. So in cold places, frost damage can be reduced in horticulture crops using this method. Overhead irrigation, that is sprinkler irrigation, greenhouses and shade nets, windbreaks placement, appropriate fungicide application. Generally, greenhouse and shade nets during cold areas or cold places, it is the best management method for the reducing this cold frost and all those things in horticulture crops. Sulfur dioxide and nitrous dioxide produced the pollution by increasing the alkalinity, acidity, neutrality, and buffer action. So acidity, so where the sulfur dioxide and nitrous dioxide produces the pollution if the acidity increases. In Puccinia gramineae, Puccinia name came from scientific name, pathogen name, host name, all the above. It is actually supposed to be Puccinia is a scientific name, starts with the genera, right? Okay, pathogen name, of course it's a pathogen also. A pathogen name, host name. Anyway, among the given option, it seems to be that the Puccinia graminis in Puccinia came from the scientific name, right? So that is a genera name. Of course, a pathogen also, but it's a genera name, so it's a scientific name. Itai disease is due to the toxicity of lead, cadmium, strontium, and tin. Probably due to the cadmium toxicity, Itai disease can be observed. Nematode reproduced through seeds, binary fission, eggs, all the above. So seeds, nematodes generally reproduce through eggs, right? Zygospore of mucor or rhizophus germinated from mycelium, promycelium, hyphae, and germ tube. This zygospore is actually produced from promycelium. Which crop is considered as apples of the earth? Potato, citrus, tomato, pomegranate. So this potato is considered as the apples of the earth. In Solanum tuberosum, the family name derived from Latin name solamen, sorry, which means comforting, discomforting, greening, ice. In Solanum tuberosum, the word solamen is actually derived from Latin word which means comforting. I don't know what it exactly means, but it actually indicates comforting. The great hunger is related to which of the following disease? Brown leaf spot of rice, lead blight of potato, southern corn leaf blight, coffee rust, lead blight of potato. Actually, the great hunger or Irish famine. These names are actually related to this lead blight of potato. This great hunger actually a kind of book or kind of description that was given by John Lindley, I think. So because of lead blight of potato, we know how dangerous and severe it happens in 1845 Ireland. So he wrote a book, I think, article kind of things, that is a great hunger, that is actually related to lead blight of potato. The Prime Minister of United Kingdom in the lead blight time. Who is the Prime Minister of United Kingdom at the time of lead blight of potato? Winston Churchill, Bannerla, Robert Peel, and Stanley Bloodwin. So at the time of lead blight of potato 1845, Sir Robert Peel is a Prime Minister of United Kingdom. Which one is the famous mycologist in India? Which are the following given options? Maheshwari, Iyengar, Sharma, Sadasivan. So these all are not related to mycology; they are related to religions and some other things. But Sadasivan is highly related to this fungi hypomastis, right? So he is a famous mycologist compared to others. Who called lead blight pathogen as botrytis infestans? Montag, Anton de Berry, Berkeley, and John Lindley. So Montag named this pathogen lead beta potato. Actually, this Berkeley sent a couple of samples to Montag, and that time Montag was also working on lead beta potato. But whatever the kind of spores observed, so the same kind of spores Montag also observed, and he sent back the letter to this Berkeley, and he took one further step. This Montag took one further step and named the pathogen as Botrytis infestans. Later the name changed or revived to Phytophthora infestans by Anton de Baer in 1876. So the name Botrytis infestans for Phytophthora was, lead blight was given by C. Montag. Which disease is considered as black death? Which of the following disease? Plague, cancer, ergotism, all the above. Generally, this plague is considered as black death, right? Robusta coffee. Which of the following is a Robusta coffee? Coffee arabica, coffee cynefora, coffee liberica, and coffee racemosa. This coffee cynefora is generally considered as a Robusta coffee. Destruction of 50% of the maize plants in 1970 is due to a disease called Hemilia vastostrix, Helminthosporium oryzae, Claviceps purpurea, Istulago maedis. Maize plants in USA. So 1970, right? It is Helminthosporium maedis actually. Helminthosporium maedis. There is no such option Helminthosporium maedis. Then we can go for Istulago maedis. Probably it is a Helminthosporium maedis. There is a disease called southern cornleaf blight, which is caused by Helminthosporium maedis or Bipolaris maedis, which is mainly responsible for destruction of more than 50% or 60% of the population. Just because of male sterility or something kind of thing will be there, right? And it is also one of the destructive diseases still now in USA, but somehow we have fungicides to manage it, and there is a chance of occurring of outbreaks in future as well, since if you see the data of previous years. And there is a movie called Interstellar where they used to change the planet, and they mentioned one a beautiful disease, that is a southern cornleaf blight. So that is the impact of this disease. International Biological and Toxin Weapon Convention was approved in the year 1972 actually. So the exploiting of international biological and toxic weapons was approved, like safe usage was actually approved in 1972. Most of the bacteria are autotrophs, heterotrophs, saprophytes, B and C. Actually, majority of the bacteria are heterotrophs and as well as saprophytes. Which disease is referred as plant cancer? Tumors, blights, rust and smuts. Generally, tumors are generally considered as plant cancers. Sexual fruiting body produced by apple scab. So apple scab generally produces which are the following sexual fruiting body? We know very well which produces pseudothecia. The pseudothecia only where this fallen leaves, in fallen leaves only the pseudothecia is formed, right? So the sexual fruiting body produced by apple scab is pseudothecia. The name Dracunculus means little dragon, small worm, thread-like ringworm. It is actually related to little dragon, right? Dracunculus. It's more related to nematodes. Diplanetism is exhibited. Which of the following fungi exhibited diplanetism? Pythium, Phytophthora, Saprolignia, albugo. It actually exhibited by Saprolignia, where it will produce two kinds of juice spores, primary juice spores and secondary juice spores. That is called diplanetism. And who authored the famous Famine on the Wind? So, I repeat, who authored Famine on the Wind? That is also more related to this lead beta potato only. Carefoot, Sparrett, Montag, A and B. So both Carefoot and Sparrett both wrote a book called Famine on the Wind. That is especially related to lead beta potato. Which of the following is a meadow mushroom? Agaricus bisporus, Agaricus campestris, both A and B, and Amanita pallidus. This Agaricus bisporus and Agaricus campestris is known as a meadow mushroom. Maize mushroom. Which of the following is a maize mushroom? Hitlakochi, Kutlakochi, A and B, Mitlakochi. Actually, Hutlakochi, otherwise called as Kutlakochi, which is a maize mushroom. In fact, in a couple of countries, it is inoculating by self to producing this special food known as Hitlakochi or Kutlakochi. The position of Antheridium in connection to the Oogonia in Phytophthora called as amphigynous type of Antheridium. which means amphigenous type of antheridium, which means grows beside the antheridium, grows above the antheridium, encircles the oogonium, grows below the oogonium. So the answer is grows above the antheridium, which means if you see the life cycle of Phytophthora infestans, where this oogonium penetrates through the antheridium. I repeat, amphigenous type of antheridium means air where oogonium penetrates through the antheridium and form a globose structure above the antheridium is known as amphigenous type of antheridium, which means it is growing above the antheridium only, right? So the answer is B. Fusiform rust is caused by Cronartium rubicola, Cronartium quercum, and Hemilivastorsix phragmidium violaceum. So this fusiform rust is caused by Cronartium quercum, who played a major role in the discovery of the cause of Dutch elm disease. Christian Bussmann, Montag and Berkeley, Lindley, Anton de Barry. Generally, the Dutch elm disease, there is a person called Christian Bussmann and B. Swatch. They worked extensively on this Dutch elm disease, which was very severe on Dutch trees on 1970s and 1980s. Two types of sexual conidia are produced by in which of the following life cycle? Dutch elm disease, chestnut blight, white pine bester blight, sudden oak death. So in Dutch elm disease only there are two kinds of asexual conidia are produced. Fruiting body of penicillium. So penicillium produces what kind of fruiting body? We know very well powdery mildews. This penicillium all produces fruiting body is called Clistothecium. Clistothecium means completely closed ascocarp, right? Indicator plant used for presence of ooze in the atmosphere. I repeat, indicator plant used for the presence of ooze in the atmosphere. Tomato, tobacco, onion, and soybean. So tobacco can be generally recommended for the presence of ooze in the atmosphere. The scientific name for cocoa trees means. So what is the scientific name of the cocoa tree means? Evil for the gods, food for the gods, drink for the gods, breakfast for the gods. Generally, this cocoa is considered as food for the gods. Leaf blight of sorghum is caused by. The leaf blight of sorghum is generally caused by Helminthosporium tursicum, right? That is called as a leaf blight of sorghum or sorghum leaf blight, Helminthosporium tursicum. Target board symptoms can be observed. This is also very important one. We can also call it as target board symptoms or alternate concentric rings, we can say. Quadrotrichum alternaria, Cercospora magnoporte. In the alternaria only we can see concentric rings or target board symptom. Actually in target board it will be like this, right? So this is we can also call as a concentric rings. So target board symptoms can be observed in are the special characteristic feature of alternaria, and this target board symptoms are also known as concentric rings. Another specialty of this alternaria spore is which produces both vertical and horizontal septations. Book is written by Gaspard Bohin. Gaspard Bohin wrote a book called Phenox Theatri Botanici. One long pink disease is transmitted by Nautilid beetle, psyllids, whiteflies, eriophyte mite. So Huon long pink disease is actually caused by fastidious vascular bacteria, that is Candidatus liberibacter asiaticus. Asiaticus is represents Asia, Africanus represents Mexico and Africa, Americanus represents America, Florida and all those countries. Okay, there are three species are currently known, but when it comes to Asia, Candidatus liberibacter asiaticus, which is a fastidious vascular bacteria and also the example of gram-negative phloem inhabited bacteria. So it is mainly transmitted by an insect vector called psyllids, Diaphorinus citri. Tyndallization especially developed for killing of. Tyndallization especially recommended for bacterial endospores, right? Example of pollen transmitted virus. Which of the following viruses is a pollen transmitted virus? Pronus necrotic ring spot, tobacco mosaic virus, cauliflower mosaic virus, all the above. So this Pronus necrotic ring spot virus is mainly transmitted by pollen. Who described a late blight of potato is a great hunger? Anton de Barry, Woodsmith, Montag, Robert Peel. So this Cecil Woodham Smith is generally considered this late blight of potato is a great hunger because of food unavailability and the killing of people and all those things. Okay, Sporisorium cetaminium or Ustulago cetaminium, later changed to Sporisorium cetaminium, which causes which disease in sugarcane? Red rot, mosaic virus, red stripe, whip smut of sugarcane. This whip smut of sugarcane is caused by Sporothorium cetaminium. Before it is called as Stylogo cetaminium. Now it is called as Sporothorium cetaminium. Soda borax is otherwise called as Burgundy mixture is otherwise called as soda borax, which was developed by Mason 1887. It is also called as Mason lime since it was discovered by Mason. Okay, I repeat, Burgundy mixture is otherwise called as soda borax. I think this question was asked in 2018. I think so. Teleomorph of alternaria. So alternaria teleomorph is Livia. Which of the following mushroom is used as a religious ceremonies of Mexico? Psilocybe mexicana, Amanita pallidus, Calocybe indica, Agaricus bisporus. This Psilocybe mexicana is generally used in religious ceremonies of Mexico. Trap crop for striga, cotton, rice, brinjal, sugarcane. So cotton is generally used for trap crop for this striga. Which bacterium is considered as a workhouse of genetic engineering of plants? Agrobacterium, Ralstonia, Pseudomonas, Bacillus. Agrobacterium. So natural genetic engineer, workhouse, farmer's best friend, all are related to this agrobacterium only. RT-PCR is used to detect dead cells, living cells, dead cells alone, none of the above. So this RT-PCR can be able to detect living cells. Pollutant disease which causes on the lower surface is mainly due to like ozone, hydrogen fluoride, nitrogen, all the above. So due to ozone toxicity, the pollutant symptoms can be observed on the lower surfaces. Halo blight of cauliflower is due to. So halo blight of generally whiptail of cauliflower, there is a disease called whiptail of cauliflower which is a molybdenum deficiency, but this is halo blight of cauliflower is caused by boron deficiency. Stalk-borne disease of rice is caused by Alternaria padvigi, Podospora lycotrica, Schlagenuda, Patapthora ramarum. Generally, the stalk-borne of rice is caused by Alternaria padvigi. Anthracnose or red rot of sorghum is caused by Coltrotrichum graminecola. Simple. 10th International Congress on Plant Pathology was held in China, India, Dhaka, United States. The 10th International Congress of Plant Pathology World is held in China. The recent 12th International Congress of Plant Pathology was held in Netherlands, France. Happens in August 2023. Which organism mainly control the binary fission? Flagella, mesosomes, ribosomes, centriole. This mesosomes generally known to be considered as this control of binary fission, where some kind of constrictions will be there, right? Such kind of constrictions will be there in bacteria. So this is known to be the center for binary fission. Ralstonia race 5, in fact there are 5 races are there, right? Race 1, race 2, race 3, race 4, race 5. Race in 1 in fact potato. So, race 1 in fact solanaceae, race 2 musaceae or banana, race 3 potato, race 4 ginger, race 5 mulberry. So since they have asked race 5, it is in fact mulberry. Which Womycetes fungi cell wall is made up of chitin, Pythium, Phytophthora, Leptometas, all the above. So generally Womycetes group of fungi cell wall is made up of cellulose, but there are a couple of fungi whose cell wall is made up of chitin, like Acaila, Aphodogyla, Leptometas, Saprolegnia. So this Leptometas is the answer. Fungi imperfecti was given by Fagel, Booth, Henry Matthew, Roger Hull. So this Deuteromycota group of fungi is called as fungi imperfecti or dustbin fungi. So Deuteromycota group of fungi, it is called a dustbin fungi by C.T. Ingold, where Fagel called this Deuteromycota group of fungi is fungi imperfecti. So Booth Fusarium, like monograph of Fusarium, right? So the answer is Fagel here, since they have asked fungi imperfect, that is related to Fagel. Structure formed by clustering of a vesicle into fungi. So Varonin bodies, Spitzenkorper, Hex1 proteins, all the above. So since they've asked a clustering of a vesicle, it is a Spitzenkorper. Ragi blast is caused by Magnoporte grigia, which causes ragi blast. Viroids are classified based on central conserved region, central region of conservation, conserved central region, all the above. Generally, viroids are classified based on CCR, central conserved region. There are two viride classes are there, avicenna viride and Pasco viride. So the answer is Central Conserved Region. First GM food in the world, flower saver, GM2, BT cotton, all the above. So first GM food in the world is a tomato flower saver, which was released in 1996. I think the company was released as Calgin. Late now there is no Calgin. I think so. It was out by taken by I think Bayer. I think I'm not sure probably. But this is the first GM food. Disease of croplands in India was written by G. Rangasamy and Mahadevan. They wrote a book called Disease of Croplands in India, which was published in PHA Publishers. Father of Indian phytoplasmology, G.P. Rao, Ahmad Jain, J.S. Thind and K.C. Mehta. G.P. Rao is generally considered as father of Indian phytoplasmology. Trade name of triademifon. Kitagen, Bletox 50, Bileton, Blue Copper. This Bileton is the trade name for triademifon. Virides differ from plant viruses, like how? Divide of protein code, do not code proteins, contains RNA as alone as genetic material, all the above. So the answer is all the above, because virides contains no protein code, so which do not code protein automatically. Then last one is majority of the majority of the virides so far discovered contains RNA as a genetic material. So all the options are right. So the answer is all the above. Father of Indian algology. M.O.P. Iyengar is considered as father of Indian algology. Trade name of pendimethalin, stomp. Annulus is otherwise called as. Annulus is also known as partial vein. Husk scald of pomegranate is mainly due to phenolic oxidation, zinc, boron and magnesium. So it is actually due to phenolic oxidation. Ragi smut is caused by Puccinia graminis, Melanopsium illucinus, Puccinia rachitis and Puccinia penicillin. So ragi smut is generally caused by Melanopsium illucinus. These are all the answers related to the above questions. And for further more details, students can refer this book, A Vision into Plant Pathology, a complete student version. For further details, guidance and clarifications, students can reach us at www.geekyresearcher.com. Stay geeky and stay tuned. We are Team Geeky Researchers.